What's going on, and welcome to the Talking Smack show. To start off, I was not that pumped about this pay-per-view, PLE, whatever we can call it, to be honest with you. However, as the show went on, I got more and more into it. I was buzzing for the women's match, which was awesome that we were starting that off with the show off with that. So I got pretty pumped up by the end of that anyway. But actually, as it went on, a lot happened, and it was actually a really good PLE in the end. So I'm really pleased I watched it. Before we kick off, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Worlds Collide, which was the AAA, the Mexican promotion crossover with WWE. Couple of highlights of that. The Iguana guy, if you've not seen him, you're going to see him on the internet. He's going to be everywhere. He was hilarious. That was well worth seeing. But the real highlight was Chad Gable versus Vikingo. Oh my word. That was an incredible match. Vikingo is special. I think we're going to see him on the main event by the end of 2025. And that guy goes hard, but it wouldn't have been anything without Chad Gable facilitating it. Like, Vikingo is a wild man, a high flyer, but Chad Gable really gave his all in that match as well. So well worth checking that out if you've not seen it. In the UK, certainly, it's free live on YouTube. I don't know about the rest, like whether that's the case for America, but brilliant, brilliant show. So entertaining. The matches were crazy, so much fun. Couple of other standout guys. Octagon Jr., who we did see on Money in the Bank. I think he used to be Kalisto on WWE. Really good to see him. And Psycho Clown as well was crazy. Apparently a bit of like a hardcore legend. So maybe we'll see him sometimes on WWE moving forwards as well, which could be fun. I really hope they bring back a hardcore title at some point. I think it would really help highlight some of the undercard moving forwards, but who knows? With the amount of sponsored weapons on WWE now, there's probably a hell of a better chance of it happening. So, like I said, we kicked off with the women's Money in the Bank match. So we had Rhea, Ripley, Mami. The reception she got was nuts, man. The crowd went fucking wild for her. The three NXT call-ups, Stephanie Vaquer, Giulia, who is maybe the most beautiful woman on earth. She looks like she's an AI Mortal Kombat character. And Roxanne Perez. And then we had Alexa Bliss and Naomi. So there were a few cool moments in the match. The match was really fun. So at one point, Naomi caught Giulia up in the ladder. Before that, for quite a while, Giulia and Roxanne just buried Rhea in the ladders so she couldn't get out. I thought that might be it for her for ages. And then Naomi hung up Giulia within the ladder when she was climbing it, so her legs were like dangling through it. And then Naomi started climbing the ladder, and Giulia grabbed hold of her, and whilst in the ladder, delivered a German suplex, which was pretty sick. Roxanne went over the ropes later on, and then she was staring at Ripley as Rhea was coming out of the ladders. And the look of terror on Roxanne Perez's face was hilarious. And then Ripley just battered Roxanne and Giulia for a little while, just smashed them to smithereens, really. Then we had Ripley started setting up ladders all over the place, like a little adventure playground for psychopaths. And then Stephanie Vaquer, there was a ladder up and then another ladder across into the ring corner, into the corner post. And then Stephanie Vaquer climbed on top of this, caught Rhea's head between her legs, dragged her onto the ladder, and delivered the devil's kiss on the ladders, which was really cool to see. Then we had Alexa, Roxanne, Naomi, and Stephanie were just like battling it out on the ladders. And then Stephanie and Alexa delivered Code Red, Rocks Pop, Pop Rocks, whatever you want to call it, sort of Sunshine Flip, that sort of thing, onto the ladder. So all four of them were wiped out. Then Giulia climbed to the top of the ladder, but was chased down by Roxanne Perez and Rhea Ripley. and they dragged her off. Then Bliss and Ripley took out Giulia and Perez and climbed the ladders until Naomi toppled the ladder, knocking Giulia and Perez off of... No, sorry. And taking out Bliss and Ripley. And then Naomi climbed the ladder and took the briefcase. So it's going to be caution to the women's division moving on. I think, so now we get to the predictions of what's going to happen. The most likely seems that Tiffy needs to watch out because there's been tension between Tiffy and Naomi for some time. I can't see her really cashing in on Io Sky. I think Naomi's one of the better women's wrestlers on SmackDown at the moment, so it would be a real blow to SmackDown to lose her. Not that says a lot that Naomi's a good one, but I think she's going to cash in on Tiffy at some point in the future, or she might hold out and tease Tiffy, have a few failed attempts, and then Tiffy loses the belt to maybe Jade or something like that. But not sure really. I don't think she's going to cash in straight away on Tiffy. I think Naomi's going to have the briefcase for at least past SummerSlam. I think Tiffy will hold the belt retain at SummerSlam, and I think Naomi will still have the briefcase at that point. I think in terms of Rhea, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw her take a bit of a break from the main roster, or her just battling it out with Io for a while. But I don't think Io is going to lose the belt at the moment, and I don't think it will be to Rhea Ripley. I think after SummerSlam, we might have a bit of a shake-up of the divisions because Raw is infinitely stronger than SmackDown. And it seems like SmackDown has loads of heels or people who should be heels, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. And likewise, it seems that Raw has a lot of faces. Stephanie Vaquer, Io Sky, Rhea Ripley. Liv Morgan's loved. I mean, she'll always be like a Healy character, but she's so popular now. Kairi Sane. Becky Lynch isn't getting over as a heel at all. Lyra Valkyria is sort of a face, just a really shit one. So it'll be interesting to see whether they ever mix up, because I think there's a lot of heels. And likewise on SmackDown, like I said, Bianca and Jade, I think, should be heels. But really, like, Tiffy is a heel who's playing a face at the moment. She could easily be a heel again at any point. So it's just a bit out of balance at the moment. So I think we might see a change over there. Next up, we had Dominik Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. This was a surprise match. What we had was at World's Club. Oh, sorry, just looking at the comments. No one's over. No one is. IA should be Money in the Bank. What do you mean, Buzz Clinton? What's IA? Or LA? Oh, LA Knight. Sorry, I'm going to come to that in a little while. So we had with Worlds Collide, we had Dominik Mysterio sat at ringside, and basically he, like Dom does, started talking shit about Octagon Jr. after the match. And then Dom, a bit ballsy for him, actually challenged Octagon Jr. to a match for the Intercontinental title at Money in the Bank. Obviously, no real build up to this. It was a bit pointless. I agree completely, Buzz. It was trash, really. Like, Dom basically got a clean win for once, which is wild. He just smashed Octagon Jr. pretty much for the whole time. I think they could have picked pretty much anyone else from the AAA, and it would have had a bigger buzz. Like, the Iguana guy went so over. Psycho Clown went so over. Like, both of them, it still wouldn't have been a good match, but at least it would have been, like, viral or entertaining. In the end, Octagon Jr. climbed the top rope. Liv distracted him vaguely. Dom knocked him off, 619 and Frog Splash, and that was it, really. It was pretty much a waste of time. Like, it was just trash, in my opinion. Dom is, like, so hot right now, and then he just had this filler. And what's weird about it is he hasn't been defending his title enough in general. Like, he's not been fighting good guys like as in not faces, as in like actual like good wrestlers. And then to just have this, it seemed a bit pointless. I think they realized that there wasn't enough on the cards to draw people in, so they just tried adding it in. And Dom's so hot right now, they thought it could get a bit of a buzz on the back of it, but no build up to it, and not the best like mesh for him. Like without any build, I don't think Octagon Jr. had the pull to have a story with Dom. There could have been like I said, that Psycho Clown guy, I think at least he looks like interesting and not just another luchador. Or the Iguana guy is just so fucking weird. At least it would have been interesting. Octagon Jr. just looked like another generic luchador, really. Next up, we had the worst rivalry in WWE, and that is really saying something, because there are some pretty trash ones that have been dragged on way too long. But Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, it was just awful. I had no interest in this whatsoever. It's been the worst build. I think Lyra Valkyria went from being a somewhat respectable mid-card face to just looking like a whiny little bitch by the end of this. She's just complained about everything. She's not come across as a likable person in the slightest. Becky's been trying to be a heel, but one, she's loved. She had such a big break. Everyone's just pleased to see her back. And two, the way that Lyra has been so insufferable, it's made Becky seem more likable. And like even the crowd reaction where we had the "Let's go Becky, Becky sucks," like it was all "Let's go Becky." No one was saying Becky sucks. In the end, like Becky won the match. She rolled up Lyra, pulling her tights to get a pin. Cole was saying, "Oh, it's awful." Couldn't really care less about that. And then she, as the agreement was, made Lyra hold her hand up. She milked it a bit, made her do it at different points, told Lyra to put the belt on her, and then Lyra attacked her. Like, for a face, Lyra does some snaky shit. Attacking Becky from the back there. On Raw, Becky was walking away. Lyra attacked her from the back again. She just complains, moans, and sneaks up on Becky. Lyra Valkyria is the biggest heel in wrestling right now. She's just a bit scummy, in my opinion. I don't think it's going to be the end of this rivalry, how it was left, but I hope, like, I don't know, let's just get rid of Lyra. Send Lyra back to NXT, have her come back as a heel maybe, or whatever. But this rivalry needs to die a death. It has been dreadful. I don't think it helps Becky. It's certainly harming Lyra. So then we had the men's Money in the Bank match. During the match, we had Cole banging on about about Chad being El Grande Americano. But best commentator in the game, Wade Barrett, cleared up the fact that that can't be the case because they have different nipples. Wade Barrett is so dedicated to the craft that he is now researching men's nipples on his own time. That needs to be applauded. Then Cole was talking about like Wikipedia being a source, just losing all credibility, Cole. I thought during this match, and I thought for the last couple of weeks, like Dom is I'm obsessed with Dominik Mysterio today. Solo is really starting to find his groove. I think we're starting to see a lot more charisma coming out of him. His matches are being fun. There's storytelling within them. Whereas I felt like since the Bloodline, he'd sort of like lost his way a bit and it's just a bit of a joke. But he's come back big, so I was pretty impressed with that. There were some cool moments in the match. Penta delivered a Mexican destroyer on the elevated ladder, which was pretty cool. Solo then nailed Penta and started mocking him, doing the Cero Mido thing. And then I thought, like, I think we can all agree that the sponsorships in WWE has got a bit out of hand now with the ring, the Slim Jim tables. We're probably going to have like the Pepsi Cola chairs before long, but I enjoyed the fireball ladder and El Grande Americano popping it on his head, it's always a spot in ladder matches, spinning around, taking everyone out. But I liked the fireball whiskey ladder. So then we had what came up next. Then Penta was climbing the ladder. El Grande Americano popped his metal plate into his mask, headbutted Penta off of the ladder. And then LA Knight ran up, backdropped Penta off of the ladder. Everyone was down. Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman started calling to get them out, obviously meaning Bron Breakker and Bronson Reed. They strode down to the ring and just wrecked shop. But the highlight of it for me was the giddy look on Paul Heyman's face as all of this chaos went on. Then Jacob Fatu and JC Mateo came down to the ring. Breakker speared JC Mateo through the timekeeper's area. Then Jacob Fatu and Bronson Reed started going blow for blow. Bronson Reed was knocked out of the ring. Fatu suicide dove to knock him out. Then he helped Solo up, told Solo he loved him. They started setting up the ladder. Solo was big balling, loving life, climbed the ladder. Jacob Fatu grabbed his ankle. Solo's little look of confusion was hilarious. And then Jacob, holding Solo's leg, screamed, "I hate you!" Dragged him down, super kick, springboard, moonsault, and then Solo started crawling out onto the apron. There was a ladder set out across from the ring over to the barrier. Jacob Fatu did the spinning Solo or the rock bottom, whatever we want to call it, onto Solo, through the ladder, and then walked back. With that, Seth Rollins started climbing the Fireball Whiskey ladder. However, LA Knight dragged him off. Seth fought him off. LA Knight started climbing. Seth dragged him down, delivered the stomp, climbed the ladder, and we have a new Mr. Money in the Bank. So I think Seth Rollins is going to cash in quick. Obviously not as quick as he did at WrestleMania on that night. But I think that what we're going to have tomorrow is Gunther is fighting Jey Uso. Jey Uso is obviously battered after being in match after match after match. I don't know where. I think Jey Uso will win the match, but then I think that Seth Rollins is going to cash in tomorrow night on Raw and be the new World Heavyweight Champion moving into SummerSlam season. That's my prediction. I think Penta will go back to sort of mid-carding. I think that LA Knight, God knows what's going to happen to him. I like LA Knight, but he just doesn't seem to have any direction at the moment. I think Solo is obviously going to be rivaling with Jacob Fatu. I think what might happen is Solo will cost Jacob Fatu the US title against Damian Priest, and then we'll have those two battling it out at SummerSlam. I think El Grande Americano is just going to carry on doing El Grande Americano things. Although what should have happened, the best outcome for Money in the Bank was that El Grande Americano should have won the Money in the Bank match. And then we should have had an opportunity where it was prime for cash-in, and Chad Gable should have run down with the briefcase. But obviously he didn't win it. So he'd have been sent back and wasn't able to do it. Then we could have had loads of segments where Chad Gable was around and he had to run back and get changed to try and cash in, but was never able to do it. That was the story we deserved. That was the payoff for El Grande Americano we wanted, but we didn't fucking get it. Who else was in the match? Solo I've spoken about. Penta I've spoken, I don't really know. LA Knight I don't really know. So Andrade was weird that he was in that match. But yeah. So next up, we had John Cena and Logan Paul versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I wasn't particularly into this match. It wasn't the most exciting build, in my opinion, and it wasn't the most exciting match. It started off quite funny with Cena and Cody in the ring and Cena not wanting anything, so tagging in Paul. Then Paul and Cena were just sort of dominating Jey Uso for a while. Barrett was telling us that Jey Uso's in trouble because he's got his title defense on Monday. Then Paul and Cena kept tagging themselves in. They started arguing. This allowed Uso to tag in Cody, and Cody ran shop for a little while. Then it was just one of those finisher fests. I'm not keen on everyone delivering finishers to each other and then everyone like getting up, like attitude adjustment and then popping up and delivering a spear or whatever. It's stupid, in my opinion. It doesn't give the finishers any credibility, and it's just, I hate it. I really hate it. At one point, Logan Paul hit the pulverizer on Cody Rhodes. Then he climbed up my mind's gone blank this morning. He climbed up the ropes and then he caught his little drone and was showboating too long. This allowed Cody to jump up, superplex Paul, and Paul was hit with a splash by Jey Uso. It was a relatively entertaining moment. Then Cena hit an AA on Cody. Cody kicked out, so Cena went out, started clearing the tables. He dragged Cody up onto a table, went to deliver the AA. Cody wriggled off. Jey Uso speared Cena onto the table. Cena fell off of the table. Jey Uso just sort of lay on the table, knackered. Then Logan Paul, with probably the best moment of the match, delivered a sort of like Chris Jericho-like lion salt, where he bounced off of the middle rope and did a moonsault onto Jey Uso through the table, which was pretty cool. The ref went out to check how Jey Uso was after having received this. Cena had grabbed the belt, nailed Cody with the belt, but before he could do anything, a masked assailant ran out from the crowd, attacked Cena, hit him with the belt, pulled off the mask. It's fucking R-Truth. We've won. We've got R-Truth back. The power of the people has made WWE crumble, which is pretty cool. He was definitely sacked, but the fact that the response that everyone's given has managed to pull R-Truth back into WWE is quality. So he pulled the mask off, sort of stood over Cena, and then he ran off back into the crowd. Cody and Cena struggled to their feet. Cody hit the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. Cody defeated Cena and Logan Paul. So moving forward, we're just going to have more of this John Cena Cody story. I think it's okay. I feel like Cody, though, has been having 4 years now of fighting the odds with a champion, and it's just not interesting. I would really like a Cody Rhodes heel turn soon. I don't think we're going to get it anytime soon, no, unfortunately. Jey Uso, like I said, I think he'll defeat Gunther, but then I think Seth Rollins is going to cash in on him tomorrow night. Logan Paul, I don't really know. I wouldn't be surprised if he disappeared for a month and then came back for SummerSlam. Yeah, so that's it. Entertaining show, but if you want class matches, I would recommend watching Worlds Collide even more. The main thing I'm looking forward to on the back of this is Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Oh, gas, no brakes, dog walk. I mean, that's really all I want. But until next time, I'll see you on the